Well, hey, you guys. Okay, so I have a question for you. How much money would you need to make you feel very financially secure? Well, according to a recent survey, most people say that they need at least $186,000 to feel financially secure, making that a year. $186,000. Now, for reference, the median household income is around $75,000. Now, $186,000 a year might feel like a lot to you, or maybe not enough. I guess it really depends on where you live, your lifestyle, how much you currently are making. If you have kids too, hello, childcare costs. Maybe if you got a mortgage, pre-2021 when rates were down, or maybe you got them post-2021 and now the rates are higher. So it can depend very much on where you are in life. But why do most Americans feel like they need more than double of their annual income to feel financially secure? Well, on one hand, life has just gotten more expensive. I mean, everything from food and gas and all of it. And I'm sure you've noticed a difference in your grocery bill or when you go out to eat. Things are just way more expensive and our money doesn't go as far as it did 5 years ago. In fact, $100 in 2024 is about the same as $81 in 2019. And if you've got kids, you're probably spending way more on childcare than ever before. I know a few first-time moms, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry this is your first experience because it's so expensive. It's crazy. Then, of course, rent, housing prices, and interest rates have risen through the roof over the last couple of years, which again makes people feel like they're just not getting ahead. And you guys, it's a lot. I mean, people are really feeling this, and it's really easy just to blame the economy. And Americans haven't been making, though, the best decisions with their current money than they could be as well. And with that, I'm talking about debt. Yeah, 77% of American households have at least some type of debt. And the average amount of debt per adult is around $67,000. So it's no wonder that people really are feeling like they don't have enough money, when everything that they make is going out to debt payments. And when you get used to living a certain lifestyle, then you end up slowly spending more and more, which is called lifestyle creep, which is very real. Again, your expectations of life and your standard of living and expectations is just higher at a certain point, and it continues to rise a little bit each time. You just want nicer and nicer things without even realizing it. It can be subconscious too. So that is why I am a firm believer that feeling financially secure is less about your income and more about how you're managing your income. So let's talk about 5 things that you can do to feel financially secure. Number 1, I would look at your housing situation, because for a lot of people, their mortgage is what's keeping them from feeling financially secure. Now, real estate is something that I think should be in everyone's, financial portfolio. I want you to be a homeowner. But if you have felt pressured, especially in the last, 2 or 3 years of like, oh, you got to get a house, you got to get a house, you got to get a house, more people are going and getting a mortgage that can't afford it. And what's really difficult is we talk to people that, 45, 50% of their income is going to their house. And in that case, you are house poor, because if half of your income is going just to one expense, which is always going to be your largest expense. Always rent or your mortgage will be highest on your budget. But when it's taking up that much of your income, you don't have as much left to go and pay for other bills or to do anything you want. So, it is really powerful to look at that part of your budget and what you're paying. So again, ideally, it's no more than 25% of your take-home pay. So if you are house poor, this is a really big point here. So I don't take it lightly, but I would consider downsizing. I would say, hey, maybe I have to move out an extra 10 or 15 miles from where I want to be. Because again, I know this isn't an easy decision to say, oh, we'll just move. But sometimes you do have to make a big change to get yourself in a stable place, and housing might be one of those for you. Also, the second way to become financially secure might be a career change. So again, I don't say this lightly. These are some big moves. But for some people, you've been in maybe the same job or the same industry, and you haven't, looked at other options, because when it comes to your income, this is a really powerful way to build wealth, but also taking care of your basic needs. So if you're out there, maybe there's growth opportunities for you. Maybe your current role is paying significantly more somewhere else. And again, I don't want you to just, job hop all the time. I feel like that's kind of like the end thing. Like, oh my gosh, every 18 months, you're just find a new job. But the idea is if you're not being paid market value or you don't see a growth trajectory for your income where you are, this could be something to look at and say, hey, maybe I change, jobs, or maybe I change complete career paths. And that happens for a lot of people because, again, it's just going to give you options. So that's something to think about. Again, big change. I don't take that lightly by saying that to you. But again, think about it. All right, number 3 is to ditch your debts. So you guys, debt is one of the biggest reasons people do not feel financially secure. I mean, you look at the average car payment for a new car, you guys, is over $700 today. I mean, that's wild. If you have 2 of those, it's $1,400 going out in debt payment. So whether it is car payments, student loans, credit card debt, all of that, if you pay all that off and do a budget just for fun on having no payments, how much money would you have? Like, what would that feel like? And I guarantee you'd feel a lot more secure without that money going out to debt. All right, number 4 is to build your emergency funds. So a lot of people feel financially insecure when they don't have money saved in the bank, which is totally understandable. So that is why you need an emergency fund. So having extra cash set aside and not relying on like your credit card. Well, my credit card's my emergency fund. No, I want you to be your emergency fund. So get $1,000 as quick as you can. After you pay off debt, you bump that up to 3 to 6 months of expenses. And again, that just gives you some breathing room. That really is the cushion between you and life, is that emergency fund. All right, lastly, number 5. You knew it was coming. Rachel's a big fan of this one. Get on a budget. That's right. Seriously, to feel secure with your money, you have to know where your money's going, you guys. I mean, I can't stress this enough. A budget helps you see where you need to cut back on your spending. It shows you maybe where there are places that you're spending that you don't even realize because things are on just auto draft, and like you are able to see a clear picture of your money and your situation. And so making sure that you're doing a budget every single month is so key because, again, you can cancel subscriptions, eating out, all of that. But it's really hard to do that unless you see what is going on. So the easiest thing you can do right now when it comes to budgeting is going to everydollar.com/Rachel and creating your first budget for free. So I will leave a link in the description so you can go ahead and check that out and download the EveryDollar app to get started. Because here's the deal, you guys, there is no magic number when it comes to feeling financially secure. Some people feel great and they're making, $60,000, $70,000. Some people are feeling stressed making $200,000. So again, it's not always about the income, but it's what you're doing with your income that matters. And the sooner you start changing your money habits, the sooner you can break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. Now, if you haven't already watched my episode on why people making $200,000 are still broke, make sure to check that out. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.